Welcome back to the Daily Move. This is part of the 4-week challenge. This is week 3, day 3, and we're going to focus mainly in the lower body today. We are going to need a few things, a band or a strap, something to put around your leg for a hamstring stretch. You're going to need some kind of object to bring your leg over top. It could be a towel, a shoe. You're going to need something for support. I used a foam roller for support, but again, you can be creative with that. And then same as day 1 of this week, on week 3, how we had to step over a bar and underneath a bar, we're going to do that again today. So you're going to need that set up. So grab what you need, and we're going to get started with our legs up the wall using that band around our foot. So grab that band or that strap and make your way up so that your feet are up the wall, your butt's really close, if not touching. You're going to take that band and place it around a foot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to pull the foot towards our face and relax. We're going to repeat this 6 times. The leg that's on the wall, you want to press firmly into the wall as you're pulling the other leg towards your chest. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hip internally, externally rotate the leg. So you can see with my shoe position that it turns out to the side and back in. Now it's not my foot creating that motion, it's actually my femur, my leg bone that's creating that. You're going to do that for 6 times. And now what I'm doing here is I'm holding the band in place and I'm pressing firmly through the heel to tap back towards the wall. And then I'm relaxing to come back to center. You want to repeat that 6 times. After your 6th repetition, you're going to point the toes up towards the ceiling and then flex them down towards your shin, keeping a nice straight leg. And you guessed it, 6 repetitions here. And now you're just gently pulling down, feeling a nice stretch into the hamstrings before switching sides. We're going to do the same thing here, so gently pulling that straight leg towards our chest. The leg that's up against the wall, you're pressing firmly with that heel into the wall. You've got 6 repetitions here. Next, you're going to hip internally and externally rotate. Once you're done 6, you're going to hold the band still and drive that heel to bring your leg back towards the wall and relax to start back. Repeating for 6 repetitions. Once you finish your 6th rep, then you're going to point the ankle and then flex the ankle so it comes down towards your shin. You're going to repeat that 6 times. Once you're done that 6th rep, you can start pulling that leg in towards your chest for a nice hamstring stretch here. Okay, once you feel like that's good enough, you're going to sit on up, and now you want your back up against the wall. Your legs are straight out in front of you. So this is where you need that object, whether it's a shoe or a rolled up towel. You need something as a target for you to flex your quad, lift the leg up, and then bring it over top of that item. Now, if you have 2 items, if you want to alternate the leg lifts, you can do that. Or if you're like me and only have 1 object, I'm going to do this 6 times on one side before repeating 6 repetitions with the other leg. So next we're going to get rid of that target and we're going to turn the legs so they face each other and then turn them away. Turning all the way in and back out, making sure that the legs are wide enough apart that your range of motion isn't being blocked because you're hitting your other foot. And now we're going to move into single leg. So you're going to lift it off the ground. You're going to hip internally rotate, then externally rotate before lowering that leg down and repeating on the opposite side. We're looking for 3 to 4 repetitions per foot here. And I'm going to show you a different angle here shortly, just in case you can't see this from this angle. So you can see here I'm lifting up a leg and I'm turning it in, turning it out, and lowering it back down. Now you can use your hands as assistants, but the goal is to be able to do this motion without the use of your hands. So finish up your last few reps here. You're going to need something to balance on. I'm going to use a foam roller, but you can use anything here. So you're in a kneeling position and we're going to work hip flexion. So I'm lifting my leg off the ground here and lowering it back down. You're going to perform 3 repetitions here and then bring that knee down to the other knee. Now we're going to do that fire hydrant where you're lifting it up. Make sure you're not side bending too much with the spine. Seeing what you can control here. After performing 3 repetitions, you're then going to do hip extension where you kick back, being mindful that you're not getting the range from your low back. So all glutes here. After your 3rd repetition here, we're going to create a circle. So we're going to do that hip flexion, bring that leg out to the side, rotate that knee in where it's before we hip extend, bringing that leg back down. And now we're going to go into that opposite motion where we hip extend first, going into that rotation and bringing that leg back to that starting position. We're going to do 3 full circles, so there and back, before we switch legs. And we will be repeating this exercise later in this video. Again, have patience for yourself. This is a practice, not a perfect. Every time you repeat this, you're just going to get better and better at it. And by no means is my practice anywhere close to being perfect. But every time that we start working on these ranges, it's going to give us more accessibility and make us more robust, which is going to make us move better and feel better and hopefully decrease our chances of injury. I know the more mobile that I remain, the better everything is. The better daily tasks are, the better my hobbies feel, the faster I recover. So it's so important to spend 10 to 20 minutes every single day working in these range of motions, nourishing our body so that we can go and enjoy the things that we love enjoying, like hiking or biking or picking up our kids. So next I'm going to keep that foam roller where it is, and I'm going to use it as a target to pick my leg up and kick over top of that. So again, we're looking for control here, not power. So can I balance on my one leg there, pick up the opposite leg, and control it over an object? Once you've done 5 to 6 reps, switch to the opposite side. So next what we're going to do is, having our leg relatively straight, you want to create an arc over that object. Again, after 5 to 6 kicks, you're going to switch legs. So next we're going to sit on our butt here, and we're going to go into a hip 90-90 position, so you can see how my legs are spaced out here. I'm then going to start rotating to the opposite side and just switching from side to side here. So next week we're going to build off of this. So we're going to be doing different movements from this position. So take your time here getting familiar with this 90-90 position. Feel free to use your hands to help you move. Obviously the goal will eventually not to use the hands. And if this is too difficult, I find putting something underneath my butt, like a pillow, really helps out with trying to create that range of motion. And then leaning back and putting my hands behind me and just windshield wipering the legs. So now what I'm doing here is just taking a moment on one side, leaning forward, feeling a nice stretch into that glute that's in front, and repeating that on the opposite side. Again, this position here is going to be super important for next week. So make sure to take your time this week working into these ranges, so that we're able to use it in the videos next week. So I'm just putting my feet out in front of me, just kind of windshield wipering the legs a little bit. And then just shaking the legs out in front before we go back to that foam roller hip circle that we were doing before. So again, that foam roller is just there for a balance. You could use a wall if you wish. And we're going back to those 3 hip flexion motions, followed by the 3 hip abduction. So I would say like peeing on a fire hydrant. And once you've performed 3 of those, working on 3 hip extensions, and then doing 3 of those circles. So continue to wrap up those 3 circles. Afterwards, you're going to need that bar so that we can step over top of it and then slide underneath. So what we're doing here is we're picking up that leg, stepping over that object, squatting down to slide under. Again, you don't necessarily need this kind of setup here, but it is kind of nice to just have an object that you're trying to get over top, but you can do it without the equipment as well. So once you've gone 6 one way, make sure to switch directions and do 6 in the opposite direction. And once you've done 6, you're just going to stay low. And you're just going to transfer your weight from one side to the other. So you're just trying to skim underneath that bar. And this is where we're going to wrap it up for week 3, day 3. Thank you so much for following along. Please give this video a like, hit the subscribe button, and share with a friend who could use these mobility exercises. Have an excellent day, and I'll see you tomorrow.